If you desire money and you would like for it to come to you effortlessly without you having to chase after it, then congratulations, you are in the right place. You want to attract and manifest money in addition to the plenty you already have. Rather than working hard in order to earn money to fill a big gaping hole in your bank account, you want your cup to be full and overflowing because of how full it already is. You want to have a good flow of money. What you want is to always have everything you need and more. What you want is flow, to feel comfortable spending freely on the things you love in ways that enrich your life because you know there is always more money on the way, that you always have enough and more. What you desire is enough and more. Enough and more. That is the mantra. The first order of business is to address your deeply held belief that you do not have enough money already. Because if you find yourself having to work hard in order to earn money, then you have a very strong belief that money is hard to get, that competition for money is fierce, and that is why you have no option but to dance and perform and jump through all sorts of action-oriented hoops in order to get the money, and that you can't relax until the money is yours, that you have to push yourself to do things you wouldn't otherwise do in order to get that money. The belief that one must work hard to earn money is rooted in a more fundamental belief, the belief in insufficiency and lack, that who you are and what you do with ease is insufficient, that what you already have, whether it's money or the stuff it gets you, is insufficient. If you think you have to work hard in exchange for money, you have a very strong belief that you do not have enough, that you do not have enough money, that you do not have enough skill and talent, that who you are is not good enough to command more dollars, basically. As persistent and compelling as your beliefs about money may seem, they are just beliefs. No matter how justified you may feel in your belief that you do not have enough money, no matter how much evidence you have in support, it is still just a belief that is easily dismantled when you realize that money is a figment of the imagination to begin with, a figment of human imagination. Cats and dogs and non-human animals have zero understanding of money unless we teach it to them. Some animals are able to grasp the concept of using tokens as a medium of exchange, which is essentially what money is, but that just illustrates the point that money can be represented by any physical object, including symbols on a screen, as long as we agree to it. Money is not a tangible thing. Money is an idea. It's an idea of portable value that somebody came up with. Money is intangible. Money is given physical form because people have agreed to the idea of recognizing some tangible thing as having value. In other words, to reiterate, money is a creation of the human imagination. Further, money does not make people happy or even rich. Having lots of money does not make people prosperous and abundant. People make money their reason for feeling happy and rich. People make having money their excuse to imagine that they are prosperous and abundant. Feeling those feelings of prosperity and abundance and happiness is something you are inherently capable of doing, something you are capable of doing by virtue of the fact that you are a human being, not by virtue of the fact that you have money, although you can choose to believe it is because you have money. Money isn't what makes you feel prosperous and abundant. Having those feelings of prosperity and abundance and happiness is what allows you to enjoy the money you already have. Feeling rich is about enjoying what you already have, money that is already yours, and what you think and feel about anything, whether it's about money or something else entirely, is just what happens because of you being what you are, what you can't help but be, a thinker and feeler. You think and feel the things you do because you are a living, conscious being. You think and feel the things you do because you exist, because you are. Any other reason is one that you have imagined for yourself, one that you have thought up. People invent excuses all the time. I'm happy because I hit the jackpot. Because I hit the jackpot. I'm happy because my ex texted me. I'm happy because the sun is shining. Oh yeah? Well, guess what? I'm happy because it's raining. People invent excuses all the time, but that doesn't change the universal truth. All you need to feel happy is to be alive and conscious, to be aware, in other words. At the other end of the spectrum, people are also very skilled at inventing excuses not to be happy. I am unhappy because I don't have enough money, for instance, when the truth is that not having enough money does not make people poor or miserable. People make not having money their reason for feeling poor and miserable. The emotion of feeling poor or miserable is something that is felt by people, generated by people. Feelings come from people, in other words. Feelings do not come from things. Money does not make you happy. You might think it does, but it really, really doesn't. It does not. If you think that having money makes you happy, you aren't wrong either. All that's happened is that you have been very well trained to see money as your reason to release your death grip on your own positive emotions. The price of making that association, though, is that when you think you don't have money or that you don't have enough, then you refuse to allow yourself to feel happy. You refuse to allow yourself to feel rich. This is not to say you do not desire money or that you should not desire money. You want the things you want. You do. The heart wants what the heart wants, and there is no right or wrong about it unless that is what you choose to believe. The point is that things do not make you happy. You make things your excuse to flow your emotional energy one way or another, positively or negatively. Before you understood what money was, did you feel emotions? Yes, you did. Of course you did. Ever seen a happy baby? Ever seen an unhappy one? You know when a baby is happy or not. The entire neighborhood knows it. Your ability to feel emotions is entirely independent from your understanding of conditions like money. Your capacity to have feelings is separate, entirely separate from your capacity to understand things such as money. Why is that? How do you feel emotions anyway? What makes you feel emotions? It's because you are a living, conscious being, isn't it? You are a thinking, feeling being. That's what it always comes back around to. You are a thinker and feeler. It's something you already are. You didn't have to learn it. You were born equipped with the ability to think and feel. It's as natural for you to think and feel as it is for you to breathe. You are a conscious, emotional being. You are a thinker and feeler. Who you really are is more than your physical body. Who you really are is a conscious, feeling being. And your consciousness, your emotions, your thoughts and feelings, that part of you which is non-physical, is unconditional. What does it mean to be unconditional? It means that who you really are is independent of conditions. Having money or not having it is a condition. If you think that having money makes you rich and happy, you are making money your condition for flowing your feelings of prosperity and well-being. That isn't wrong or anything like that. The point is that those feelings of prosperity and well-being come from you. It doesn't come from money. You wouldn't be able to feel an emotion that wasn't already in you. You cannot resonate with an emotion that something already within you isn't receptive to. You are the variable. You are the source of your emotional energy. You could just as easily flow your feelings of prosperity and well-being for another reason. For instance, when you receive a kind compliment on your appearance from someone you fancy. In that case, you would be making those words of praise your condition to flow your positive, happy feelings. Positive, happy feelings that were already in you, that were just waiting for you to let them out. What is or is not a condition, what is or is not a good reason for you to allow yourself to feel happy now is determined by none other than you, because you are the thinker of your thoughts and the feeler of your emotions. You are the one in control. That isn't supposed to frighten you either. It came out sounding a little bit like a threat, but it isn't a threat. It's supposed to inspire you to revel in your own creative power, your own creative genius. You are a creator and manifester. You did not come here to live this human life in order to suffer, unless suffering happens to be your flavor of choice, that is. Nothing wrong with that either. There are people who enjoy suffering, right? Believe it or not. Why are some people into BDSM or necrophilia or scatology, for instance? You or I may not understand why. You or I may find such things strange or repulsive, impossible to comprehend. But such fetishes do exist. There is a niche for everything because the basis of all life is freedom. The universe is impartial and allows for all things. So the only question is, what are you now going to do with your own creative genius? You are free to create the life of your dreams or the life of your nightmares or something in between, something that is a mix of stuff you like and stuff you hate. The money you have now is money that you created, money that you manifested. If the money you have now isn't enough for you, no worries, because if you can create a little, then you can also create a lot. For those of you who are wondering why you didn't manifest more of it to begin with, it's because you didn't intend to. Before you get angry with me and leave, bear with me. You're already halfway through the video. Come on, stay with me. If you think that a life with not enough money isn't something you chose, think again. The idea that the unhappy conditions you are currently experiencing are not of your own creation, that it is not something you chose, that you never would have chosen it knowingly, in other words, is a compelling idea and an enduring one too. I will grant you that. However, for those of you who want to claim your full powers of creativity and genius, I invite you to put that idea to rest for good, because it is just an idea, one that you are entertaining, and you could just as easily choose to accept that you and no one but you is the creator of your reality. In other words, you are the god of your reality. In your reality, you reign supreme. In your reality, you are the supreme being. You are the cause of all things. You are divine. You are powerful. You create and manifest all things. All things. That includes the stuff that you don't like. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you didn't attract and manifest it. Some of you might be thinking, well, even if that were true, why did I choose something I knew I didn't like? Why precisely? Why, oh why? How come I didn't choose to be a rich person? Why on earth didn't I choose a better life for myself than the one I'm living now? There's no way I could have chosen the life I am living. No one would ever choose this. And all of those statements reveal your deeply held belief that the life you are currently living lacks value. By denying that you chose this life, you are devaluing your own existence. You are denying your own awesomeness, your own supreme powers of creativity, your own infinite capacity to love and appreciate. Humor me for a moment. Suspend disbelief and consider for a moment that you are a supreme being. You are all-knowing, all-powerful, ageless, limitless, immortal, and anything you wish comes into being just because you wish it to be so. What are you going to do? You are going to do things that please you, right? Maybe that means choosing to be born into old money, money that is immediately available to you to spend and enjoy by traveling to exotic lands, for instance, and enjoying good company, engaging in steamy romantic affairs of the most delicious and satisfying kind, perhaps. Maybe you also choose to perform good deeds and command the love and appreciation and respect of others. Your love affairs and general exploits would be legendary. Death would faze you not one bit, because as a supreme being, you would know the infinite divine nature of your own existence. Those of you who are going, yeah, now we're talking, this is more like it. Hear me out. I'm not finished yet. You would possibly return to Earth again in human form, again and again and again, in order to experience more incarnations of human life, like going on your favorite ride at a carnival over and over again just because of how much fun it is, or having your favorite food over and over again just because of how much you like the taste of it. And after a couple of lifetimes or a couple of millions of lifetimes, you are an eternal divine being, remember? So after having had your fill of the good life, you might start to grow curious about human experiences that are less than perfect. You might wonder, what would it be like for me, infinitely powerful me, to be poor? What would it feel like to be diseased or injured or even enslaved? What would it be like to go into the game of life on planet Earth, in other words, with a bunch of handicaps instead of being born with a silver spoon in my mouth? What would it be like to live in fear of death and a lack of resources, which is so very foreign to what I have always known to be true thus far? And what could I create in spite of such limitations, in spite of such handicaps, such as fear and lack and wretched unworthiness? I am a supreme being, after all. You might start to wonder. It isn't that you have forgotten what you prefer. You already know that you enjoy the rich life, the easy life, but you've already lived it all hundreds of times over, maybe hundreds of millions of times over, and you already know that you are an infinitely powerful, immortal being. You are fully aware that your existence is one that transcends any physical human limitation, such as time. Death itself is of no concern to a supreme being. What's to stop you from having a taste of what is other than preferred, of taking a ride on the wild side? You might even wonder what it would be like to come to planet Earth as a cockroach or a flower or a particle of rock at the top of Mount Everest. Death is no impediment to your insatiable curiosity, your infinite appetite for fun and adventure. No matter what happens, you know you are safe, that you are always safe because you are an eternal being, a supreme being. In order to fully immerse yourself in the human experience, you might even choose to forget the truth of your own divine nature just to see how quickly you are able to remember it and reawaken to your true power this time around. Everything, even the evil villains in your life, are of your own design. You knew what would push your buttons. You knew what would get your goat. You knew what would set off your triggers, whether that meant not having enough money, suffering from a terminal health condition, or getting tangled up in a series of extremely challenging relationships. Death itself is a device of your own creation. It's all a game to you, all of it, a cosmic game of peekaboo, because you know that when all is said and done, you will come home. You will inevitably wake up to the ancient infinite knowledge of the truth that you are a supreme, divine, eternal, non-physical energy being. And every time you remember it, not only will you feel the great rush of relief and joy of waking up and remembering who you really are, someone who is not only safe, but someone who is powerful and eternal, you will also realize that there were signs all along the way. You were being guided all along the way, guided by your own spirit. Only hindsight is 20/20, as they say. You could not see the truth of your own existence until the moment you finally did, because that was precisely what you intended. You intended not to see the truth, so that when you finally did see it, you would enjoy the revelation. You would revel in the joy of discovering, the joy of remembering, the joy of knowing. Still with me? The point of that little thought experiment is this. Your belief that nobody, an infinitely intelligent supreme being no less, would ever choose to live the life you are currently living, the one where you don't have enough money, is an assumption, a deeply held belief, and you are free to let it go at any time. You are equally free to continue to entertain that belief. The choice is yours. Okay, now what? What you do from this moment forward depends on the way you feel. Do you feel invincible? Do you feel like the supreme being that you are? Do you accept your own eternal divine nature? Do you claim your own creative genius? What you do from this moment forward depends on the way you feel. The way you feel does not depend on what you choose to do. You can let the things you do affect the way you feel, and you don't have to, because you are an unconditional spiritual being. You are a limitless energy being, a creative genius. There are no limits but the ones you imagine and create. What you do is irrelevant. Whatever it is you choose to do it in the awareness of who you really are. A divine, supreme being in physical human form. An unconditionally joyful and free spirit. It doesn't matter if you are brushing your teeth, taking a nap, twiddling your thumbs, and watching paint dry, or writing a dissertation on the mating ritual of beetles. What action you take is irrelevant. Do it with spirit. Do it with the understanding of who you really are, a free and fun-loving spirit. You are powerful and free. You fear nothing, and you enjoy everything you do because you do what you love. You do what you love, and you love what you do. You do only what you love, and you love everything that you do. You are fearless. You are limitless, and your life is full of love and passion. You are full of love and passion. Whatever it is you wish, the money that you wish to manifest, for instance, it is already done. It was done the moment you conceived of it. It's just that you chose to forget so that you would revel in the joy of discovering the path you took this time, the path you took to get that thing you want, that thing that you actually already have, that thing that you yourself created just for you. Who you really are knows that it will please you to get that thing you want, that you will have great satisfaction from realizing your manifestation, and that you will have fun all along the way to it as well if you choose to. There are signs all around you right now of your path of least resistance to the money that you want, to the relationships that you want, to the experiences that you want. That path is the perfect fit for you. When you have confidence and believe, when you surrender and trust, you know that there are no wrong turns. You know that all roads lead home. You are happy and relaxed now, even if you don't quote unquote know in the exact manner that your divine self knows, even if the nature of your knowing is merely human and limited compared to the knowing of infinite and supreme intelligence. Somehow you just know, without any physical evidence, that you are safe. You know that you are safe to explore and have fun, that there are no mistakes, and that even if there were, you get as many do-overs as you like, and there will be a lot of fun to be had in those so-called mistakes anyway, which is why you came here to begin with, to have fun, to enjoy and amuse yourself. And curiously enough, the more fun you have, the more infectious your energy becomes, and when you least expect it, the money comes to you, and you affirm, wow, it really is true. Money does chase me. Money really does come to me. Money comes to me because I am a money magnet. I get paid not for working hard, but for having a really, 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 really good time. Enough already. If you made it this far, I am glad you followed me to the end. Now go find some other fun thing to do. But wait, before you go, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit like, leave a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and now go do some other fun thing. See you again soon. Bye.